Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here. It's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time. These real estate market statistics are for Pinellas County for September 2024. Now you might be asking if you have this report or you saw me flash them just then. You might be asking yourself, the report says August. Why is he calling these the September numbers? Well, I call them the September numbers because otherwise people think that they're a month old. So these are the most recent stats that we have. I'm not able to get them until about the fifth or sixth day into the new month. The thing about these statistics is we compute them for the entire month. Week to week or day to day is way too short of an interval. And there's a lot of shifts and differences. Like literally, if you have like a stretch of 3 or 4 really rainy days, that is going to put a damper on the number of homes sold and all that stuff if you're looking at day to day or week to week. So we look at month to month because it's a long enough time period and everything kind of evens out enough. So I'm not comparing month to month. So I'm not comparing August to July per se. The reason why is the year has a natural ebb and flow of some months naturally just have more home sales, some have less. So, for example, whenever school's starting up, which is kind of what happens in August and September, whenever school's starting up, the number of homes sold compared to June and July are naturally lower. Just there's fewer people interested in buying a home at that time. People are settling down and getting used to new routine. Same thing with the wintertime. December has a lot fewer sales than the summertime. So what we do is we compare August 2023 to August 2024. So that kind of tells us what's happened in the last year. The good news is that real estate doesn't move usually so fast that is too long of a time frame. We did have a stretch, which you might remember, 2020, 2021, and 2022, where things were moving extremely fast. And during that time, I was looking at things from week to week and month to month and keeping an eye out on all of the offers that were being made and what our success levels were. But things have calmed down considerably since then, which is good news, especially if you're looking to purchase a house. We're still not in buyer's market territory by any stretch of the imagination. And, whenever we go over these notes, I'll be sure to make note of that. But it's still, there's a lot more houses to choose from than there were a couple years ago. The other thing to know here is if you don't want to sit through this whole long 20, 30, 40-minute video, I do make a much shorter 2-minute market update. And, if you just want to keep kind of the pulse on what's happening, where the numbers are at, you can watch that. But if you're looking to deep dive into what's going on in the real estate market, this full market statistics report video is definitely what you need. Now, if you would like your own copy of these numbers in this beautiful market report that I generate each and every month, there is a link down below that will take you to the website, and there you can sign up whenever these videos and reports are released. You will get notified of that. And then also there is this full report you can download at the website. So you can follow along or, tuck them in a notebook or, frame them and hang them on the wall if you want to. So feel free to go there and sign up for the stats newsletter, and you'll receive that notification as soon as these become available. All right, let's dive into these numbers. These numbers are for Pinellas County for September 2024. Total number of closed sales held steady, only a 0.7% increase from 845 to 851. Median sales price increased 1% from 479,000 to 484,000. Average sales price was up 5.1% from 635,144 to 667,288. Median percent of original list price, which has been moving pretty significantly. So that's down 3.5%. So that went from 96.8% in August 2023, and it's at 93.4% in August 2024. That's a significant decrease. But the crazy thing is the median sales price is still up. So that's why I say, even though there can be a lot of price drops, but the median sales price can still be high or even increasing. Median time to contract, which is my preferred metric compared to median time to sale. Median time to contract was up 113.3% to 32 days. That is still very much seller's market territory, but that's starting to get up there. Once you get into like 40, 45 days, that's where it gets into like neutral market. So we're still on the seller's market side, but things are still ticking upwards. Number of new listings was up 13.1% from 1,042 to 1,179 homes. Active inventory was up 106.7% from 1,441 to 2,979. So that is the most homes that we have had for sale in quite some time. So there is a lot of homes to choose from, especially compared to 2021 and 2022. There was a period of time where we had less than 1,000 homes for sale. So the number of homes has actually tripled. Foreclosures and short sales, which this is the doom and gloom that has been predicted multiple times in the last few years, and I told everyone they were crazy. Still nothing crazy going on there. It went from 4 foreclosures to 3, so that's a 25% decrease. And the reason why is, why would you let the bank foreclose on you and take that huge hit and lose everything when you could probably sell the house and put, 20 to 50 to $100,000 in your bank account? So just so you know, if you know anybody that's getting into trouble or is looking at a foreclosure, I am a short sale and foreclosure specialist. I have a designation, I have a certification from the National Association of Realtors for it. I have helped multiple people with foreclosures and short sales. And as you can see from that data, it's not that, people aren't getting in trouble. It's that there's a pretty easy way out. It's a little more complicated than a traditional home sale. Now, I don't usually point out too much month to month stuff, but I did want to point out that we just missed setting a new record home price this year. So November 2023, we set the highest median sales price ever of $490, and the highest it got in 2024 was $489,500. So it was super close. So even with demand taking a major hit, 800 homes sold, that is very low for Pinellas County. We usually sell more than 1,000 homes a month. Usually it's more like, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 homes per month, especially in the summertime. But, we're down to 800. But we still basically equaled the record median home price. I'll touch on that in kind of the next section when I go to interpretations here. Now, I do like to break this down into some of the different price points, because $1 million home does sell at a little bit different time frame than like a $300,000 home. And that's simply because there's more buyers for a $300,000 home than $1 million home. But just when you have more active buyers, things tend to sell a little bit quicker. Now, there's not much to talk about below 200,000. That's mainly because there's not many homes that have sold at that. So there was a total of 6. The houses sold between 150 and 200,000, and then 2 at 100 to 150, and there was nothing less than that. The bulk of the homes are at this $300,000 to $400,000 price point. Total number of closings was down 1.5%, a total of 201. Everything else held pretty steady. So, and we're kind of at the point in time, we'll go back here and kind of look at the closed sales here just to look. So we really haven't been above 1,000 homes, significantly above 1,000 homes in a month since, I would say, June 2022. That's where like the peak frenzy kind of, faded out, was that June, July 2022. So, and we've been pretty low since then, like 600, 700, 800 homes each and every month. So that's why we're not seeing a lot of big differences in the number of, homes sold. Now, 250 to 300,000 went up 29.2% for a total of 62. So that's a pretty good change, but it's also a pretty low number. So any, small change in a number that low is going to have an outsized impact whenever you convert it into a percentage. So that's another thing you always have to keep in mind whenever you're looking at this stuff. Median time to contract across all the price points is basically, it's up in the 20 to 35 days. So again, that's very much seller's market territory. 250 to 300,000 is up 133% to 21 days. That's pretty quick. I would have killed for that short of a time to contract in 2018. 400 to 600,000 is around 32 days. Sellers don't usually get too stressed until you hit that, that 40, 50 day mark. Like whenever prices really don't start to move until you get median time to contract up into the 40, about 45 days is when you start to notice that prices have stalled and maybe even a little retraction. Number of new listings broken down by price point. We've had a pretty significant jump in the $250,000 to $300,000 range. So there's a total of 66 of those. that were listed in August, which was a 34.7% increase. And 300 to 400,000, there was a total of 284 homes, which was an increase of 32.7%. Total inventory is up across the board, except for basically 150 and under. There's nothing. There is nothing for sale in those price points. But above that, everything is basically up significantly. Basically the only ones that haven't doubled is 600 to a million, which is only up 69.2%, 631, and a million or more, which is only up 70.2% to 628. So, for example, like 300 to 400,000, there's 186.5% more homes, total of 573. So that is a significant jump compared to last year, which was hanging around 400. So that's over doubled significantly. So that's good news. So if you're looking to buy, there are more homes to choose from in the Pinellas County area. It's funny because sellers are comparing all of this to 2021, 2022, which is ridiculous. There's no way a market can sustain that. If a house takes a week or two to sell, a lot of people now think that there's something majorly wrong, when historically that's just not the case. So, but as a buyer, you can definitely take advantage of that. So those are the Pinellas County market statistics for September 2024. Now, if you remember back to your math class, you might remember mean, median, and mode. Mean is another name for average. So we'll just call it average and median. So with an average, you basically would take, let's say if 5 houses sold, you would add up the price that those 5 houses sold for, and then divide it by 5, that would give you the average. The median is a little different though. The median price is the point at which there is an equal number of homes for sale at a higher price as at a lower price. So it's more of the actual midpoint of the market for the homes that have sold. Personally, I prefer the median home price more because it removes a lot of the whiplash that can be caused by a large number or even a small number of very expensive or very inexpensive houses selling. And this is especially true as the number of closed sales goes down. The median home price tends to start to swing a little bit more than usual just because the sample set is smaller. So like if you're selling like 1,000 homes a month, the median home price is going to tend to move a little bit more than it did when there was 3,000 homes for sale. It's going to move a little bit more than when there was 2,000 homes that sold in that month. So it's just because the data set is a little bigger. So I'm actually going to bring the Pinellas and Hillsborough kind of information analysis together here. So Pinellas County kind of had a wild 6 months. Hillsborough County had held steady for the last 4, 5, 6 months, but it has started to decline a little bit. But it still hasn't, like the bottom hasn't dropped out of the market. And Pinellas County, pretty much the same thing. Yes, number of closed sales are down. Yes, there are more homes to choose from, but the median sales price is not moving that much. And so what we have is we have a bit of a split market. And so basically we have homes that are going for sale super quick. They're usually renovated. They're usually priced effectively. They're usually in high demand areas. So those are going super quick. Multiple offers isn't overly common, but it is still something that we run into if you're looking for, like a renovated home in a high demand area. Multiple offers are common in that circumstance. So 2021 and 2022, like there would be times I would submit offers and they would say, hey, we have received 28 other offers on this house. I had a pretty good success rate for still getting offers accepted with that. I actually ran this the other day. We would get about half of our offers accepted. So there is a difference in presenting an offer because when they're going up against 20 to 30 other offers, you should not be winning half of them. So we basically kind of have this split market here. Now, what seems to have started to happen in Hillsborough County is some of the houses that had been sitting around for a while, the sellers have been reducing the prices. And then when they sell, that does increase the time to contract numbers. Because it's important to remember that a lot of these stats only get counted if the house actually sells. So like median home price, if a listing expires, which means that it does not sell, then it just disappears. So it was part of the market and it was listed and it was being evaluated, but it does not impact the median sales price and it doesn't impact median time to contract, because that the median time to contract only gets counted when the house closes. So, so you kind of have to keep that in mind with these numbers. That said, a lot of the rest of the state is having a much rougher go of it currently. I've talked to some people down in like Venice, and we are active. So, me and my team, we are active in Sarasota. But obviously, we don't do like gangbusters business down there, but we do have a lot of people that are looking in. I'm interested in Parish, Fishhawk Ranch, and Lakewood Ranch down in Sarasota. So, we get a lot of that overlap. So we do business down there. But Sarasota, considerably slower than a lot of the rest of the Tampa Bay area. And there's other sections of Florida where, a lot of the real estate agents believe that the sky is falling. Tampa Bay, still not at that point. And I'm not entirely sure that it ever will get to that point, just because of where these numbers are. Now, the total number of homes for sale, that is significantly higher than it was, but it hasn't showed up into effective major price decreases. We've had a little bit of a movement, but that's also just kind of a natural coming out of the summertime kind of thing. I am curious to see what happens as we progress into the wintertime, because we've had some other things happen. Interest rates have come down a bit. Those have been those have been in the sevens, and now like 6% interest rates are pretty easy on mortgages. So as more and more people realize that interest rates have come down, you're going to see, people refinancing, people evaluating home options, looking to make moves, looking to buy houses, because 6% is 7% is, people start to sweat a little bit. 6% is more of a, that's kind of where things had been for the last, 20, 25 years, that 4 to 6% range. So again, there's not a clear trajectory up or down. We're still just kind of in this seesaw teeter-totter pattern. The good news is that if you were looking to purchase, there are more homes to choose from now, so that is a good thing, especially for on the buying side of things. And sellers are pretty negotiable and reasonable for getting concessions and repairs and stuff like that done. And on the flip side, if you're thinking about selling, prices are still at or extremely close to historic highs. So we didn't break ground on new record prices in 2024, but we basically touched the previous 2023 peak, over the early summer. I know there's lots of stories about the sky is falling and the real estate market is imploding. Condos are certainly kind of having some issues currently, but these numbers are not about condos. These numbers are about single family homes. But a lot of those news stories, if you look at them, they're actually comparing current numbers to 2021 or 2022 numbers, which is absolutely crazy because there's no way to sustain a 2021 or 2022 real estate market. It is impossible. So yeah, compared to everyone going crazy and paying $30,000 to $40,000 above asking price and getting 40 offers on a house, yeah, we're nowhere close to that. So if that's your frame of reference, yeah, it currently looks like a catastrophe. But compared to before that, if we're comparing to like 2017 or 2018, which was still very much a seller's market, we're kind of back to that 2018, 2019 levels of, time on market sales price, but sales price is considerably higher because we've went through that ramp up. But at least currently, there's some things that I'm watching, and we're basically back to watching that where that demand and inventory side goes. If the number of buyers increases, if Pinellas County goes from 850 homes sold per month, and if it goes back up to where it usually is at, which is 1100 or 1200 homes per month, well, then the number of homes for sale is rapidly going to drop, and we're going to see prices go up again. Whereas if that demand number stays low, well, then inventory is going to stay high, and we might see a price retraction, but it is going to take some time. It's going to be well into the winter time. So annoyingly, I don't have a clear trend that I can give you, other than I'm keeping an eye on it. And currently things are about how they have been for the last, year or two, which is basically we're kind of popping back and forth. So we'll have like a few months where prices are going up and things are starting to get crazy. And then we'll have a few months where things are slowing down and prices are coming down a little bit. It's just how it's been since July 2022. So thank you so much for tuning in to these real estate market statistics. My name is Kyle Sasser with Ashler Home Team. If you're looking for your own great place in Tampa Bay, I would love to help you out. Best way to get started is to go to the Book a Chat link down below. Should be in the description or the comments down below. Click on that link. That'll take you to the calendar. You can book a time that works best for you. If it's morning, if it's afternoon, if it's evening, doesn't matter. I will show up at whatever time, and I will answer your questions and explain the process to you. If you have some thoughts on the market or some questions that maybe I didn't address in this video, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kyle Sasser, and I'll talk to you soon.